Hey guys, RickyBrosh Racing here, and we're back in Project Cars 2. Today I'd like to share my favorite 5 road cars. So this is not a video about the fastest cars, just the cars I enjoy driving the most, you know, the ones that brings out the great driving mechanics in Project Cars 2. So there are no race cars included in this video, it's only road cars, but you never know, that might be a video for next time to try and rank up all the race cars in Project Cars 2, which is a lot. But something I really like about Project Cars 2 is that every car behaves differently, and each and every one has an own personality. It's hard to explain, but every car feels special, even though there are a lot of cars in Project Cars 2, and that's what's so great about Project Cars 2. But yeah, coming back to the cars, there are a lot of different road cars, a lot of cars to try. I tried them all, obviously. And I summed up my top 5 drivers' cars, the ones I, enjoyed the most driving around California highway or whatever. So without further ado, here are my top 5 cars. So in 5th place we have the Toyota GT86, which is also known as the Scion FRS or the Subaru BRC. It's certainly not the fastest car in Project Cars 2, but it's one of my favorites. It really is. It's just so nimble and has a real happy rear that it really likes to step out with the traction control off. And when it does, it's real easy, but it's a pure joy to catch. The car is so light, you can really feel it. It only has 200 horsepower. It still manages 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds, which is fine since it's so light and the characteristics from the handling are so good. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have the best sounding engine, just like real life, but what can you expect from a natural aspirated 4-cylinder boxer engine? It's not gonna sound better than this. If the car had another engine option, it's a car I would consider buying in real life. It's a good looking car. It's in a need of another 100 horsepower though, and it is probably in need of another 200 horsepower here in Project Cars 2, but nonetheless I still love it. The GT4 version of this car is another favorite, but yeah, it's a race car, so that's for another video. Yes, the number 4th car, the McLaren 570S. It's one of 4 road McLarens in Project Cars 2, and this one is certainly my favorite. We all know McLaren was largely involved in producing Project Cars 2 with test drivers and all kinds of different stuff, but it feels like they spent some extra time to get this car to drive like a McLaren should. The 570 horsepower twin-turbo V8 sound amazing, and it's one of in my opinion, it's one of the best sounding cars in Project Cars 2. Hearing that thing, when you reach the higher end RPMs, it just sounds amazing. Not a big fan of the digital display, but that's probably just me, but anyway. The twin clutch gearbox with 7 gears feels like a Formula 1 car almost. It makes the Toyota GT86 in 5th place here feel like a car from the 70s. It's just a great car and a really fun car to drive along California highway here in the background. Do you hear those 2 electric motors? Didn't think so. It's the Porsche 918 Spyder. This is a beast of a car that's just way too fast around California highway here. It should be on a oval, but it's a pretty special car since it's a hybrid with 2 electric motors producing 280 horsepower. That along with the regular V8 brings the total to nearly 900 horsepower. And yeah, the price tag is around $800,000. It's four-wheel driven, which really makes this thing come out of the corner even without traction control on. It just goes. And consider it has over 900 pound-feet of torque, or over 1280 Newton meters. For those who are European, like me, it's just a beast. It's also the current lap record holder at Mazda Raceway from a production car. Here in Project Cars 2, it's just a joy to drive. We'll not do this without traction control in real life, but luckily we're in Project Cars 2. The hybrid Porsche 918 is my fourth pick. Well, it shouldn't come as a surprise that there are two Porsches in my top 5. It's the same thing in real life. They are top contenders every time in competitions. I had a hard time choosing between this and the number 1 pick, but this car really shows what a great game Project Cars 2 really is. Like all the Porsches, the way it turns into a corner and the front end grip is just amazing. It actually feels a lot like the 911 GT3, but with less grip and an engine that sounds even better. That natural aspirated 6-cylinder revs almost up to 9,000, which sounds so good. The PDK double clutch gearbox that changes gears faster than you can understand what happened, basically. It's just one of my favorite cars, if not my favorite car. It's a tight race between this and my number 1 pick. Driving this on the Nordschleife here is one of my favorite car track combos as well. That's why it's my second pick on this list. And here we have it, guys, the winner, the Ford F-150 RTR Funhaver. Oh, I'm joking. It's a pretty fun car to drive around the Nordschleife though. Well, it shouldn't come as a surprise that the Caterham Seven 620R is my favorite car. It's just a beautiful car. It's not the fastest car, but it's not the slowest either. The Caterham 620R is an evolution of the classic Lotus 7, from which Caterham bought the licensing from and made this amazing car. It has a turbocharged 2-liter Ford engine that produces 310 horsepower, which is it's more than enough in a car that only weighs around 1200 pounds. It does 0 to 60 in under 2.8 seconds, which is faster than most cars on this list. But the thing that really stands out about this car is the handling. I just love the way this thing handles. It's a dream to drive. Actually feels like you're sitting in the car. Can only dream of what it feels to drive this in VR or in real life. This car actually reminds me of the Toyota, even though it has a lot more horsepower and it's a lot quicker. And just like the Toyota, it has a real happy rear that likes to step out, entering a corner, exiting a corner, and that's what I like. I hate understeer, and understeer barely exists in this thing. You really gotta push it if you wanted to understeer. It's just a real fun car to drive, and it's, in my opinion, the most enjoyable road car in Project Cars 2. So there you had it, guys. My top 5 cars. There are a lot of honorable mentions to be said here, to be honest. We have the Chevy Corvette, Ferrari Enzo, actually the BMW 2002 Turbo. It's a real fun car as well. The Audi R8. You know, there are a few, but if I had to make my top 5, these are the cars I would choose. Like always, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.